prosperity and great happiness of being with this company for 32 years this month. And so the adventure only gets more exciting all the time. It's really a wonderful experience. And I think so much of it is because what I just managed to say is that we are really a community of people who truly do care for one another and want the best outcome for everyone. So let me just give you a little background, too, on the company itself, because this is a big year for us. As a company, we celebrate 50 years. We entered the marketplace 50 years ago with a product that I'm sure you all have today. We were the company that introduced smoke detectors for the home. Obviously, that was a great success and laid the foundation for huge success to come over time. We diversified over the years in the early 80s going into water filtration and air filtration, and about 27 years ago now entered the field of health technology with Juice Plus and the Juice Plus family of products. So if you were to look at our history, we really represent safety and well-being and health of mankind in all of our product lines. The man who started our company so many years ago as a very young man is still the man who runs it today. That's Jay Martin. And his philosophy has always been if his team members, his partners in the field do well, his company will always flourish. And we certainly have seen that become a reality and continue to be a reality. We've also had the good fortune of meeting like this every Monday night now for 30 years. And so that's a record in itself we're very proud of. We've never missed a Monday night. And the real treasure in that is that people come to us and share their information, their wisdom, their insight, their experience with our product. Many times also it's people who share information from a medical standpoint, people who share information from a business standpoint. And so we're very blessed in that we are exactly the community I described earlier as people who really want the best for each other. Tonight, we're particularly blessed. We have a special speaker with us, Dr. Carol Watson. She is a national marketing director with our company, as well as an RN and a naturopathic doctor. And she's going to talk to you about, the transformation in her life as far as the Juice Plus journey, as well as sharing it with others. I'll give you a little background on Carol. Carol Watson is, as I said, a national marketing director with our company. She's president and CEO of Transformational Coaching with Dr. Carol, empowering others to break through their walls to freedom and fulfillment. She was a critical care nurse for nearly 20 years, and since 1995 has focused on prevention as a passionate and inspiring naturopathic doctor and is a certified member of American Alternative Medical Association. Dr. Carol delivers a message of health, hope, and transformation that she has experienced herself as well as others. She joined the Juice Plus Company in 2001 and reached the top position within 3 years. She and her team were nominated for the prestigious Elton Award 4 times over the years. She is a respected coach on wellness, leadership, people skills, and mindset, and is frequently requested as an authentic speaker and trainer. Because of her own transformation, she is now helping others with similar struggles on the Done with Diets food addiction coach that she is. Her dedicated service and contribution are exemplary. And so I know that you will really enjoy hearing her tonight. She herself, as I said, experienced a health transformation that's been amazing and is great at sharing that with others. So, Carol, I'm going to go to you, and you might share with people a little bit about how you discovered Juice Plus and what it's meant in your life and what's happened for you.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. I'm really honored to be on the call tonight. Just truly mean that from the bottom of my heart, and I do pray that as a result of y'all joining this call tonight, that you will receive some hope and some inspiration as well as some education and maybe equipping to help you make better choices for yourselves, because quite frankly, by the time I was about 30 years old, I was well over 400 pounds on multiple medications, suffering from depression, and just really had a lot of challenges going on in my life. So my heart goes out to those on the call who might be going through some struggles of your own right now, and I want to give you hope that there is possibility in saying yes to you. And Juice Plus has been a huge part of my transformation journey. As Cheryl said, I was a critical care nurse for almost 20 years, and y'all, I was peak at my game at like running a code. If your heart stopped, if you stopped breathing, I knew what drug to push, what machine to put on you, what to shove where, and told everybody when to do it. I knew how to keep people alive, but I did not know anything about prevention or wellness. And as a result, obviously, I've focused my entire life on serving others and wanting to make a difference for others and to help others at the own cost of my own health, not really realizing and not paying attention. Because honestly, I kind of threw my hands up in the air and kind of figured, well, you got to die somehow. I have cancer on one side of my family and heart disease on the other, and both sides of my family, lots of obesity. 5 siblings that all struggled with obesity or food issues, if you will, as well. And so was it any wonder that I ate myself well over 400 pounds? But back in 1995, I read a book that just shifted everything for me, Cheryl. It was like, oh my gosh, why didn't they tell me this in nursing school? It was my first exposure to the relationship between nutrition and disease. And I discovered that there are simple changes that we can make to take responsibility to turn off the genetic predisposition for cancer, heart disease, autoimmune disorders, diabetes, whatever that is running in your family, and to turn on the good genes based on our diet and lifestyle choices. That's called the study of epigenetics. They have proven scientifically, y'all, that our DNA is not our destiny. I just did a talk today with a group of breast cancer survivors at a luncheon. And to hear the stories of how many people have breast cancer in their family somewhere. And everyone just assumes that because, like my father died of a sudden heart attack at the age of 56 on Father's Day, well, everybody's going to die of a heart attack because that's the way my father died. I don't accept that any longer, and science has proven that I can significantly reduce my risk, and you can significantly reduce your risk, y'all. It does take some shift in mindset and some changes that you can make. And what happened for me is I immediately actually started juicing. I was like, there's no way I'm going to eat all these fruits and vegetables that everybody's telling me I need to live and thrive, because I was not thriving at all. And so I started juicing. I was like, yay, my prayers have been answered. My Jetson food has arrived. I'm sure, Cheryl, you've heard of the Jetsons, right?
Right.
I'm like, because there was no way I was going to eat kale or broccoli or beets or parsley, for Pete's sake. So I started juicing. And I did that for 6 years until 1991, when my doctor asked me if I had ever heard of something called Juice Plus. And I was like, no, doc, what's that? Well, it's concentrated powdered produce in a capsule. Can you swallow a capsule? I said, sure, absolutely. How do I get it? I was like, the chop, slop, and mop routine with juicing was quite a rigorous routine. And by the way, it does come in capsule form, but in case you can't swallow capsules, they're very easy to open. I was just talking to a lady today about that. You can open it up really easily and put it in a little juice or water, or put it in your baby food to get those nice concentrated powdered produce. It is just fruits and vegetables that's been picked at peak ripeness and juiced and concentrated in this powdered produce in a capsule or a soft chew for children as well. So it made so much sense to me that I decided to add it to my diet right away, and I kind of hung up the chop, slop, and mop routine. The reason why it made so much sense to me, I kind of want to emphasize, because I had already started by then on this journey of switching from treatment of disease to prevention, and was working on my double doctorate as a counselor of natural health and a naturopathic doctor. And I was all about food as fuel, and I had learned so much about enzymes and the power in raw fruits and vegetables, and how we're living beings with trillions of living cells, and we need these enzymes for everything going on in our body. To keep it really, really simple, it doesn't matter if you're laughing or sneezing or talking or just breathing. Enzymes are everything, and enzymes are only found in raw food. Well, how many of us are eating majority of our diet cooked food, and how sick are we? Well, Juice Plus maintains that enzyme content with the protease, the amylase, and the lipase to help digest the cooked food that we are eating. So it's a low, cool temperature proprietary process where the enzyme content, so the life force, if you will, of the food, the real food, is actually in Juice Plus. So it is the next best thing to actually eating kale and beets and parsley and broccoli that at the time I was not eating. I do now, by the way. There's no fruit or vegetable that I won't eat. I just love fruits and vegetables. I've changed my palate, and Juice Plus has been a big part of helping me to change my palate. So my journey started, Cheryl, with just that one simple change. Can you swallow a capsule? And so did you have something to say?
Well, what I was going to say is as I hear you talk, I so identify with the security that you feel on Juice Plus, because I came from a family that, people got sick early and they just died. A lot of my family died really early in their lives, and so I thought that was going to be my destiny as well. And I felt like those health monsters were nipping at my heels all the time. And what has really been I've not missed Juice Plus a day now in the 27 years we've had it, because it's not only given me my edge from a physical, healthy standpoint, but you get to walk away from that fear that you feel like is following you around because of your family heritage. So I guess I just really identified with that as you said it, because there is a huge relief to feel like you have that safety net around you. And I think we've both been on the product long enough to not only experience the feeling, but live the reality of it.
Absolutely. And yes, that's why I say, and thank you for sharing and really highlighting that, because that is a big part of the reason why I partnered with the company, is to get this message out to other people that there is hope. There are solutions, and it's not that complicated. It's like, can you chew a soft chew or swallow a capsule or open it up and put it in a smoothie or a little bit of yogurt or some applesauce or a little bit of juice? We flood our bodies with the nutrition from 30 different fruits and vegetables every day. And by the way, you can congratulate me. Yesterday was 19 years for me.
Oh, congratulations. And, that's the other thing is I look around at the team, which today, when I started this, I was just trying to make ends meet at a very frightening financial time, and it was going to be part-time. And today, this team, there are hundreds and thousands of us all over the world, and people come and they stay. 19 years, that's a serious amount of time. And so congratulations to you, and just very proud to be able to work alongside you. I've always loved the knowledge that I've been able to gather from you and from so many over the years, but I knew zero about nutrition. I'm a Cajun from South Louisiana, and they feed you things that taste good, but I don't know about what they do for you. So anyway.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for that the kudos and the compliment as well. I do like to try to keep it as simple as possible, because I realize that, the average person doesn't have a degree in nutrition, and all that. My guess is the majority of people, I'm sure there's some medical professionals on the call, dietitians, nutritionists, that sort of thing, but to the average person, it's like all they want to know is, how is Juice Plus going to help me? And my answer to that would be, there is nothing that Juice Plus is going to hurt, and there are so many things that it can help, because it's just concentrated fruits and vegetables. And all leading health authorities are recommending 9 to 13 servings a day. How are you measuring up? If you're not able to meet that quota, which most of us don't, even with the best of intentions, Juice Plus is that nutritional seatbelt that I put on every day to guarantee me, scientifically based, by the way, 40-plus research, third-party research studies done, proving that Juice Plus helps us at our cellular level to protect our DNA, to really balance our immune system, to reduce our cardiovascular risk. There are so many things that the science has proven, and what happened for me, because immune function is one of the key studies that's been done on multiple populations and countries as well, because it's not just research being done at universities and hospitals in the U.S., it's worldwide. My personal story, Cheryl, is that after years and years and years of probably 3 times a year or more getting bronchitis, I was on steroids, antibiotics, and inhalers. And now, after 19 years with Juice Plus, I can proudly say that I have had bronchitis, but only 3 times in 19 years, and no antibiotics or steroids. So I'm very fortunate that my immune system just continues to get stronger and stronger and better. I also experienced an increase in energy. I was sleeping better as well. So I noticed some, like very gradual, simple changes, if you will, over time. But then I really wanted to share tonight also how I started incorporating another product that the Juice Plus company has, and it's called Complete, and it's plant protein powder. So what I know as a naturopath is dairy is highly inflammatory to our bodies, and most protein drinks have concentrated amounts of whey protein, that's concentrated animal dairy. And I did not want to be consuming that. And when I heard that the Juice Plus Complete is 100% plant-based, I was like, you have got to be kidding. With a good amount, a balance of complex carbohydrates and protein and 8 grams of fiber per serving, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to, start incorporating the Complete. So I started drinking one of the shakes every day. I just put it with some plant milk and some berries, and I made a really yummy smoothie with it for a breakfast. And then back in 2015, one of our brilliant doctors on board, research biochemist, introduced a program called the Shred 10, which is basically just incorporating some guidelines for us to follow in our Juice Plus community. It's not for everybody, and I get that. Juice Plus, the products, again, are the foundation to bridge that gap. But if you're looking for a way to maybe shred some toxins in your body, because we're loaded with these pesticides and herbicides, they're being stored in our fat, and a lot of people are all about cleansing and healing from the inside out. If you want to maybe embrace some new lifestyle habits to improve your outcomes, to decrease your risk of these types of things, it's things like, not eating after 6 o'clock, which we all know we should be doing, drinking more water, moving a little bit. It also incorporates eliminating gluten and dairy, which I had never done before. And so in 2014, still as a food addict, but my health improving because of the years of the capsules, I decided to incorporate these guidelines to make a difference in my health. It's like enough is enough. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I represent a whole food health company with Juice Plus, and I just decided to just go all in. So I embraced those 10 guidelines that are now in place for anyone to follow for any amount of time. You might want to do it for a week. You might want to do it for a month. I decided to follow those guidelines pretty faithfully for almost a year. And that has now been, it'll be 6 years in April since I started embracing the Juice Plus guidelines that our Healthy Living community has come up with to help support us in our health, which includes the capsules, the fruits, the vegetables, and the berry blends. So there's 3 different blends of capsules. I also consume the plant omegas. I know the power of omegas and how important they are for heart, brain, and joint health, not to mention many others, but was very leery of fish oil capsules because of the rancidity and the toxins, the PCBs in the fish. So the companies bypassed the fish. Hey, isn't that a brilliant thought? Let's go straight to the algae, which is what the fish is consuming, to get the omegas. So we have a plant-based omega blend, so I consume that. And then I started drinking 2 of the shakes every day, one for breakfast and one mid-afternoon, following the SHRED guidelines, and it's, again, now been almost 6 years, and I lost a total of 130 pounds. I move freely. I think very clearly. I feel extremely confident. I went from just literally a very overweight and sluggish a woman to a vibrant pickleball player, line dancer, Zumba dancer, walking 4 miles a day and never did any sport in my life, I might add. And I also just really want to highlight that the products were the foundation for me from a nutritional standpoint. The guidelines gave me some support and parameters, if you will, to follow. But what really did it for me, Cheryl, was you and everybody on the phone tonight. I'm going to start crying because it's the community of people that have been supporting me, even when I was well over 300 pounds, still loving me and inviting me and supporting me, no matter what size I was, but cheering me on and having the support and the encouragement all throughout this journey of this community. I honestly don't know what my life would be like without the Juice Plus community, or how I could have accomplished this without you all just cheering me on. And I just want to thank you for that.
Well, then those are beautiful words, and we all love you, Ben. That's the great thing, is that, you know, we come together, as you say, as a community, and people all have things that they're dealing with, either in their heart, in their body, in their mind. And, you know, I think that's the great blessing of what we do as an organization and as a business. You know, it's so interesting because it all comes together, and it's not segmented. I love that about it, is there is, you know, a wonderful product to share with people, an amazing way for people to, you know, secure their financial, you know, income. But that is all supported by people who really, you know, do want the best for everyone else. And I think that's really the beauty of it. And I'll have to share with everyone, I mean, Carol has always been, you know, a beautiful woman and a great blessing to all of us, as all of you are, because everybody brings their own skill, their own knowledge, their own input, their own experience, and that enhances everyone else. But her transformation, you know, I think we all felt the just this jubilant feeling of being able to have that joy with her as she did reach her goal and continues to maintain that goal of the transformation you've created for your body. And the other thing that I think is really important to share, you know, tonight, and I know we're alluding to this, but to be real clear, is that if you look at our foundational products, the Juice Plus, fruit, vegetable, berry, and the omegas, is that whatever your body is dealing with, it deals with it much more efficiently. And I think that's the beauty of this, is that, you know, Carol really used that as a foundation. She followed guidelines that just made sense as far as helping your body, you know, regulate itself to create the outcome she wanted, but that whatever the body's dealing with, it deals with it much more efficiently. And she's a great example of her own experience, and we see others that are a great example of many other forms of experiences where they were challenged. And that's always a wonderful feeling, because we get to all, I guess you would say, have a lot of emotional revenue that goes along with the business revenue as well. So.
Right. I've always said the emotional revenue is just, I mean, we've all got bills to pay and, you know, all of that, but the emotional revenue, it just means so much to me. I get paid back so much with that. Cheryl, I did want to mention, too, because I want to make clear also that the guidelines and the capsules, the shakes, even the guidelines, this is not a weight loss product. It's not a weight loss company. The outcome of eating good nutrition, supporting your body with concentrated fruits and vegetables, the protein, plant-based powder, as well as the guidelines, it's just natural that if you need to lose weight, you're going to shed pounds. But the good news is these guidelines, as well as the complete shakes, it's lots and lots and lots of athletes are using these shakes as a pre- and post-workout recovery drink. I love using Complete for people who are undergoing a treatment of any sort where they have difficulty swallowing or they can't eat, especially the elderly, post-surgery, cancer patients. It's good, quality, whole food nutrition. It's so different than those canned drinks that they serve in the hospital that I won't name. But I'm just telling you, it is just great nutrition for kids, after-school snacks. They're no guilty, no-brainer fast food is what my Complete is. It's on the go. It's at home in a big smoothie if you want, or just shake it in a little bit of water or some plant-based milk or some juice, and you've got a healthy way to flood your body with the nutrition between the capsules and the shakes, like over 50 different plants. Again, we're supposed to be eating lots and lots of these things, and most of us aren't. So I would just invite everyone here tonight to consider flooding your body with the nutrition, just like, Cheryl, how many years did you say you've been? 32 years, is it now?
I've been with the company 32 years, and we've had Juice Plus. It's either 27 or 28. And
yeah, okay. And Cheryl looks like she's 16. I'm telling you guys. I'm like...
Well, I really feel blessed.
Anti-aging.
When I started taking Juice Plus, and it was because the company introduced it, and I looked around and I thought, some of these people are looking good. I want to look good too. And it wasn't because I thought it was going to do anything in particular for me. My family has a huge history of autoimmune problems, and I had some autoimmune issues. And I was in a pain a lot of the time, which there wasn't much that I could do about it. And, after about 8 weeks, I woke up one day and I thought, boy, I'm having a good day. And it's been a good day ever since. And so I haven't missed it one day, but it's like it must compound somehow because, over the years, I can depend on feeling good every day. And, all of those health monsters that I felt were nipping at my heels are now so far in the distance that I can't remember what they were. And so, I think we're just so blessed and very blessed that, people like yourself who do have the knowledge of what's actually going on here. I only have the experience of what I've felt in my own body and what I see with my own family. And then, of course, what I see out there in the field with all the people who have consumed it over time. But it's amazing because it really does. It does make a huge difference. And when you talk about Complete, and I love the products, but they really, they don't have a taste. It's like my grandson said. When you put them in your mouth, you feel about 10%, and then you said you feel 150% after your body starts using it. I don't know where he got that, but he's a little kid. But anyway, I only know the way I feel. But when it comes to the Complete, it's so delicious. I was thinking the other day, I must be addicted to this. Then I realized what I'm addicted to is feeling good.
Yes. When we give our body the proper fuel, I just was telling the gals today at that luncheon, most people, Cheryl, don't realize how bad they feel until they start feeling good. And that's my experience after 19 years with Juice Plus, is people, just like you just said, it's like you don't really expect necessarily anything much to happen, but over time you start seeing some shifts and changes. And I'm like, well, that's what, good whole food nutrition does for us. It's really the fuel and the life force for vitality. This is wellness in a capsule. It's fruits, vegetables, grapes and berries, plant omegas, and plant powder produce, and to make a nice shake from. And it's not a whole catalog of products either, by the way, and that's what I love. And it's all whole food, which makes sense to me as a naturopath. But I did want to mention just one other thing before we close, Cheryl, and I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that a big part of my journey, and again, the community really supporting me in this, but, I mentioned at the beginning of the call that as a nurse and as an extremely obese nurse, I really dedicated my whole life from the time I was a young child of just serving others. I don't know what it is. It's just in me to just always, I've always felt like I was born to make a difference and to help and to serve other people. That's just who I am. But I mentioned it was at the cost of my own health. And so a big part of my success has been learning how to love myself. And I realized that so many women are, especially men too, but particularly women, are so caught up in taking care of their families, taking care of the grandkids, putting food on the table, working their jobs, running people to and here and there. It's like when I finally took the time to take care of myself, I discovered that a better me can serve you a whole lot better. So self-care used to sound very, very, well, it still kind of does, to be honest with you. It sounds selfish because I'm so outward focused, but learning how to love and nurture and take care of me makes me a better person to be able to serve others. And I'm so thankful that I learned that through this journey as well, that it's not again, it's not just the Shred 10 or the products or all of that. We are holistic beings. We're body, mind, and spirit. This is nourishing our body. But I learned better how to nourish myself spiritually and emotionally so that I could be a more balanced person. And I'll just end with this thought and let you end it however you wish. But I just wanted to say that the one thing that I say to myself every single day, and most times before I sit down to a meal, and this is for anybody, that you don't have to be a food addict. Everybody has issues with food, and most of us know we're eating too much fast food. You shouldn't eat this, you shouldn't eat that. Let's focus on what we get to eat. Just focus on eating more fresh, raw produce. Take your capsules, and you're going to have some great outcomes. But this is my thought process, my mindset, because I've learned how to eat mindfully, is I love eating good food. I love eating good food. I love myself. Therefore, I choose to be aware of what I eat and how it makes me feel. I enjoy the foods that are best for my body. I love every cell of my body. And when you embrace that mindset, you're going to make good choices. And I'll just leave it at that.
Well, and I think that's so beautifully said, but so true. I'm one of those folks that I love books on, the power of the mind. And, you talk about mindfulness and really directing our thoughts. We're the only thinker in our universe, okay? Yeah. And I really believe that those thought impressions that stay with the subconscious mind really direct our lives. And I wrote down exactly what you just said because I think it's beautiful. And it's something we all, I think society tells us to be critical. And maybe subtly, but it still comes across, to be critical. And I think that if we just fed ourselves mentally really well, as spiritually, as well as we do from a nutritional standpoint, it would also really enhance the experience of life. And that, those thoughts of, I love myself. I love every cell in my body. I love eating good food. I love eating good food. Those things really translate into choices and into reality. And I think it's very important. The other thing, too, and I really feel blessed to have this journey with so many of you on the line that we work with, on a daily basis. You talk about 19 years. I talk about 32. We really are part of something that I think is truly important. We only have to look around at the struggles of people with their health at much younger ages, the struggles that children have today. With a small child now in my life as a grandchild, and he's 8 years old, but I have watched at every age parents with children that have challenges that just didn't exist when I was growing up or even when my children were growing up. So, our mission of good health based in good food and good practices of, clean water, clean air, doing the best you can in all of those areas to help support health, it is a very vital part of being responsible in the world today. And thank you, Dr. Carol, for your info tonight and your experience and your sharing with us and your knowledge of, what food does. I also think that it's really very impressive, but also something that people may note is that you acquired the knowledge, but you still had to work really hard at embodying that knowledge to get the results you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is important, too. Just because we've heard something or learned something, then it's time to integrate it, and that can be the challenge that, needs that consistency of effort, but it's so worth it. So Thank you again.
You are so welcome. And the capsules and the community, I'm telling you, there's a bomb. It's a win-win, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this journey with you all. 19 of the best years of my life. And from a business standpoint, I can tell you, a lot of people don't know who I am, but I am full-time with Juice Plus, reaching that top position, and I love. I was just telling some retired people here today, because I live in a retirement community. I'm 61 years old, and I'm like, I don't ever see myself retiring because I love so much what I do. I love what I get to do. I don't have to go to work every day. I get to go to work.
Well, I certainly agree with that, and I love this. Capsules and community. I think that should be a new slogan. Okay.
Thank you, Cheryl, and everybody.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. And for everyone on the line, it's a joy. Here we are. It's already nearly the very last day of the month in January. How did that happen so fast? I think we just said New Year yesterday. But let's all really, do our part to share not only the good health that our products bring to people, but also the opportunity for them to share that with their families, the people they love, those they come across on a daily basis, and really as a community make a difference. So have a good end of the month, everyone, and we'll talk to you next week at the beginning of the next month. Okay?
Thank you.
Bye,
Good night.
Good night.